It's time for this week's edition of Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank. I'm Alex McAfee. On the phone with us today is Bill Landon. He farms near Greenwood, Nebraska. And Bill, you were sharing with me that you just wrapped up with wheat harvest. Tell me how that went this year.
It was very good. In fact, it was probably one of the better years that we've had since we've been raising wheat. It made about 94 bushels, so we were really pleased with the yield.
Have you ever seen that sort of yield on your farm before?
It was about 3 years ago. We averaged right at about 89, almost 90. So depending on the rainfall in the spring of the year is pretty much how we get it. But this year the test weight was just fantastic. It was averaging around that 62 pounds, so the 63. So it was that really helped out on the yield too.
Do you think that was just right conditions at the right time, Bill?
Yes, it was. We happened to get some nice, timely rains, and the growing condition was just right. And then we were able to get the fungicide on and the fertilizers on for the wheat to optimal for the yield.
Well, let's take a half a step back, Bill. I mentioned wheat is not the only thing you guys grow. Tell me more about your operation and some of the other things you guys do.
We have a very little. We're limited on how much irrigation we've got. We've only got about 200 and some odd, about 200 acres of irrigated ground. The rest of it is all dry land. My son and I, we farm about 1,500 acres, and so the wheat is just kind of not a major part of our operation. We've used it to repair terraces or construct terraces on some of the farm ground here in eastern Nebraska. But then we also have corn and soybeans is our main crop, and so we're in a rotation with that.
All right, so the corn and soybeans this time of year, what are you guys focusing on and keeping an eye out for?
Well, we are just wrapping up on the spraying the soybeans for weeds, and then we also give them a shot of foliar feeding for the on the soybeans. We've wrapped up the corn about a week and a half ago, or almost 2 weeks ago now, of spraying for the weeds in the corn, and also we gave them a foliar feeding. And then we got right after we got done spraying the corn, we were able to get the side dressing done. We used 4600 as our side dress for our corn. So we were able to get that on, and I think it rained about like the day after they got done putting the dry fertilizer on, so it worked out really, really well.
If you're just joining us, we're on the phone today with Bill Landon, who farms near Greenwood. And Bill, as we speak here on Tuesday, pre-recording this segment ahead of the 4th of July holiday, you mentioned you guys have had some rain the last couple of days. What does that look like on your operation, and has it damaged any crops so far?
Well, we've been very fortunate, but no damage. We had a little bit of wind, but our corn wasn't big enough to get knocked over yet. But yesterday we had about 3 inches, and so far today we've had about 2.5. So you don't have to go very far to drop down. You get south of Lincoln in Lancaster County, and they're getting down to they only had like 20 hundredths. And yesterday we had, like I said, we had 3 inches. So it was kind of a hit and miss area, but we've been getting kind of deluged. We went down and checked we have a couple of farms that are on the creek bottoms, and the creeks were running full but not out of their banks. So we were very fortunate for that part.
Sure. Well, Bill, as you look out to the rest of the growing season, really so far this summer, what are you guys going to be focusing on and hope to accomplish?
Well, right now we're going to finish up with the beans, and then we've got kind of a little bit of a break, and then we'll come back and spray insecticide and fungicide on our soybeans, and then keep track and trying to figure out when, hopefully with all the moisture we've had, we can try to keep the green gold midge. They won't invade our soybean fields, but sometimes there's no rhyme, no reason for this insect, how it comes out of it overwinters in the corn stalks, and then it comes back and haunts you in the soybeans. So it's a real interesting bug, and University of Nebraska has been working really, really hard on trying to figure out spraying or it's just any way to manage it. It's kind of it can really mess you up.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with that battle. It sounds like it's an ongoing one.
It is. So it's mainly on the Missouri River bottom and a few of the creek channels that tributaries to the Missouri River. So it's kind of on eastern Nebraska problem in eastern and western Iowa. It's moving across the state. So it's kind of a thing. It'll really take care of the outside edge of the soybeans as it comes out of the field. So it's kind of a thing. So
yeah, I imagine so. Yeah. Well, Bill, thanks so much for your time, making time for this. I know you guys have a busy growing season, so we appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you much.
That's Bill Landon joining us. He farms near Greenwood, Nebraska for this week's episode of Fridays in the Field.